All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are well. Today we got unemployment and payroll numbers coming out today. Let me know what you guys think we're gonna get. We're gonna do a poll. Um, we're gonna do a poll, see what we get. All right, so unemployment. All right, it's Friday. Honestly, I'm happy that it's Friday. Again, we do have non-farm payroll numbers. They're expected to show at 200,000. Unemployment expected to show at 3.6%. 3.6%. What's up, George, Christian, YT, B, DS, Islam, AU, Ash, Kieran? You'll be able to see it right here. We're gonna cover the data. The reason, like, we'll have over 1,000 people here when it drops because we cover it pretty quickly. So, like, if you want to get the data quickly, this is the place to get it fast. Unemployment is expected to show at 3.6%. 3.6%. Non-farm payrolls are expected at 200,000. Both to drop at 8:30. It will be streamed right here. Again, 3.6%. Wait. Wait, I did this wrong. There we go. All right, yeah, you can see the numbers right there. I think we have some earnings today too, right? Yeah, we got Fubo and NKLA, Icon. A lot of these dropped late though. None of these are really super important this morning. Cinemark drops theirs. CNK drops theirs in about 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sure if the market's volatile today. Nobody knows really, man. Yeah, there's a bunch of sources you can use, but again, I have a couple that give me the data very, very, very quickly. And so I know how to report it very fast. So like you can look at other places to see what the unemployment and payroll numbers show up as. But again, I'm probably going to report these pretty quick. So you won't need to go anywhere else. Market is up today so far. SPY back up to 450s. Green day yesterday. Green reaction to Apple earnings, which Apple went red. You can see here. But Amazon did really green, and you can kind of see that here. So Amazon up to over 140 right now, which is pretty crazy. Hey, what's up, trading? What's up, Scoobs? What's up, Paulo? Yeah, Apple's struggling right now, man. Again, we'll see what happens, but not looking good for it. I'm ready for the release today. I'm going to do a poll here. Let's see what you guys think. Does the market close red or green? Does the market react positively or negatively to unemployment and non-farm data and payrolls? All right, so does the market react positively or negatively? we're gonna have 4 options. All right, so there's the poll right now. Does the market react good or bad to this data here? Again, the SPY is up today. Again, not the biggest green day, but it is up a little bit. And Amazon still testing 140s with just a crazy day. And we're pretty green in our swing trades, to be honest here. So we're up nicely in our swings. Green and Etsy as well. We bought Etsy right around the lows. It's bounced back some. We got 15 shares. We might take a little 5 spot off if it looks good. Thank you guys so much. We did break 112,000 subscribers. We're already up to 120s today in subs. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. We keep that growth up. What I noticed, like, so one of the things that like they allow, one of the things that like YouTube allows you to do is see your other fellow subscribers. So like I can see all my subscribers, right? And I can see how many subscribers they have. What you realize very quickly, to be honest, is that most people, what you realize very quickly is that most people have fake subscriber counts, because you'll see people like, I got a dude with like 1 million subs that gets like less than 1,000 views per video. You know, we got other guy, and again, most of these are just fake. Some of these are real. This person's actually kind of cool. This is probably the most legit channel. It's called Check and Effect. And it's basically this guy going around the world, it looks like, visiting different parts of like Africa and other places, and like recording his experience. That's actually a pretty dope channel. I actually like it. But let me see the rest of these guys. The rest of these guys are pretty much fake views. Yeah, the rest of these guys are pretty much fake views. This person's real too. Jonathan, well, however, this person's real at least. They're getting some views. That's cool. It's nice to see some people sub to the channel. We got this guy. This guy's real too. This guy, Matt Bold. All right, but yeah, SPY up, Amazon up, Apple down. We're green today on our swing trades. Just today, I'm not saying we're green on some of these positions, but today we are green on Exxon, Target, Roblox, Snapchat, SOXS, PayPal, Microsoft, Honeywell, Google, Etsy, ENPH, and Disney. Nice little bounce back. We'll see if this data today helps it, because the market did pull back heavily. Apple came in pretty red for economic stuff. Yeah, we usually start the stream pretty early. If I wanted to start a channel with limited experience, what would I discuss? Don't do trading. Trading's saturated. You know, like there's enough traders. It's gonna be really hard to break into this. I started this channel years ago, and so by the time trading got by the time GameStop AMC craziness happened, which was like the biggest news of markets over the last few years, for the most part. By the time that stuff happened in 21, I had already been streaming for years, so that gave me a little bit of an edge. But if you try to get in now, you're gonna be saturated. It's just saturated. I wouldn't try to trade right now. People, like, I've seen a lot of people, basically, I've had a lot of people that work with me, right? Maybe they're contractors, maybe they're guests on the show or whatever it is. And like typically I'm very careful with guests, because a lot of the time what happens with guests is they come on my show, they see my show, they like streaming on my show, and then they start trying to stream on theirs, right? But they don't have the following that I have. And so when they think it's just going to be as easy as click and live stream and boom, they're streaming, they very quickly realize that like they're not going to get that many people there. You know, they'll get a couple people there, like 1 or 2 people usually. And this is for multiple different people. And so they realize very quickly, number one, if you start streaming, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to plug you. I'm not going to shout you out if you're streaming at the same time as me. For the most part, there's a few exceptions, but they're only exceptions for channels that are already around. Like Bulldog Trading's a friend of the channel. You know, he streams, but it's all good there because he's been streaming. But I guess if you're going to start a YouTube channel today in 2023, figure out what you're passionate about and just monetize that with content is what you want to do. Figure out what you're passionate about and then monetize it with content. If you are going to start a trading channel, create video content. Live streaming saturated, but video content has a chance to really make waves if you pick the right subjects and you optimize your keywords and titles correctly. From your experience, how many days after a stock drops, after earnings, does it take to start recovering? I don't know if there's like a set standard amount that it takes. I don't really know. Tesla had good earnings yesterday. No, it didn't, sir. Kind sir. No, it didn't. Tesla dropped earnings weeks ago, not yesterday. We have Fubo earnings today. We got Fubo, Nikola. There's Fubo. Fubo at 340s. I don't think they're out with their numbers. They're scheduled to drop theirs at 8 a.m., so we still got a few hours. NKLA, same thing. NKLA is scheduled to drop theirs at 9 a.m. Eastern. Again, we got a couple hours. NKLA at 350s. Again, Fubo said to drop theirs at 8 a.m. NKLA is scheduled to drop theirs at 9 a.m. IEP is scheduled to drop theirs at 8:30, which might add. Hey, what's up, Beach? Grabbed AMD at 109 the other day, still holding. Might just hold this one out around 15. Hey, good luck, dude. Yeah, AMD, it's there. I mean, it's a good gain pretty quickly. You know, it's basically a 5% gain pretty fast. Again, did you guys make money yesterday or no? Again, here's the SPY. SPY pretty flat today, up a little bit. You can kind of see, but still flat nonetheless. I'm disheartened. Like, I got so close to getting funded yesterday, and then I hit my daily max loss. It hurt, honestly. It really hurt. I mean, I'm already funded in one. I'm just trying to get funded in my second one. It was my daily max loss. So I'm actually still green in the account, believe it or not. But yeah, I ended up giving it back. Oh, I'm still very green in this account. I'm still $3,000 in profit here, but I did lose max yesterday. Sucks because I got it up to 155.50s. So it's like I could have gotten funded yesterday. Now I'm back to only being up about 3K, 2,500, which is fine. I'm going to take another swing today, see what we get. But yesterday was my worst day, and I got really close. And I had to swing big, you know, but it's all good. And I'm green in a bunch of these accounts. A little. What's up, Yair? I was down yesterday, up today so far. The Q. What's up, guys? But again, thank you guys for helping me hit 112K. We're already back up to almost 112,500. So getting pretty close. Apple and Amazon earnings yesterday were kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, yesterday, I think the market will probably be a little bit more volatile today at the opening bell because, you know, we got Apple, Amazon earnings. We got the other earnings early in the week with Meta and stuff out the way. And now we're basically don't have any super big market impacting earnings coming out for the next couple days at least. And so we might start to get a trend in the market now that we have that. My stomach's been hurting, man. I got a mild to moderate hiatal hernia. If you don't know what that is like a it's like a thing in my stomach, man. Stomach protrudes up into my chest. It sucks. Hurts. This thing that sucks. Yeah, man, none of it helps. Hey, nice George. IO and Q, Big Daddy of Q. Yeah, I mean, IONQ has had a run this year. I'll give it that. Are we lagging? We shouldn't be. Time to sell my Amazon profits. Yeah, I mean, if you're up a lot, I mean, do what you got to do. What do you think about coin today? I think coin technically looks pretty decent. Yeah. What's up, Yair? Yeah, we're green today on a lot of stuff. Green on Etsy. Yeah, I'm drinking my coffee. Yeah, market's bouncing a little bit today. It looks a little bit better. And market's been pulling back for a couple days, so I think we're also technically, I think we could be due for a bounce. We've been pulling back since the 31st of July. And so it might be time for a bounce here. We'll see. But you can kind of see we have been pulling back a little bit since then. So maybe we'll get a bounce today. Again, it really depends on what the unemployment data and payroll numbers, you know, not just what they show up as, but what influence that has over markets. Yeah. NCLH bounced it up a little bit. We're still pretty much flat there. We're going to wait. We might be down like 0.5% on the trade. Yeah, I mean, IONQ is up a lot this year. It's had a pretty good year, man. So props to it. It's looking pretty good. E-mini stopped right at the trend line yesterday. Looks bouncy. Apple was good. Amazon was awesome. Apple numbers came in slightly better than expected. It still didn't react well, though. But Apple was up so much. Again, I doubt it would hold. Apple was up so much, it could be extended. That's what I talked about yesterday. Is like if you look at a daily chart, Apple's had a pretty good. The crazy thing is like earnings calls are so emotional, man. It's like one of the things that kind of chips away at me over time in terms of bias is you get people that are just like, oh, this is bearish, everything's bearish, and it's like, okay, everything's bearish, but like the problem is it goes from Apple being up huge. Apple was at 120s back in January. It's currently at almost $200 a share, right? The problem is that people are so emotional. Usually it's on the downside. Like people are so emotional on the downside. Like the bearish traders are so emotional that it's like, not all of them. I'm not talking about everybody. So if you're bearish, I'm not attacking you. Don't worry. But what I'm saying is like some of them are so emotional about it that it's like Apple pulls back from 200 to 190s and people start saying, oh, Apple's done for. And it's just kind of like Apple, like y'all are saying Apple is going to fail. Like what a ridiculous statement. Again, just bias, just emotion. And so sometimes these earnings calls with these big, like these really big ones where we have thousands of people here like we did yesterday for Apple earnings, you just see emotion, And I usually try to stay objective and neutral, but no, I think Apple came in slightly better than expected, if I remember correctly. Let me look. Wrong. Let me see. Apple showed 126 beat the 119 estimate. Sales beat expectations as well at 81.8 billion versus 81.3 billion estimate. So yeah, Apple came in better than expected on EPS and sales and raised their guidance, I believe, for their earnings. I just think they were up so much that that a pullback is at a certain point like reasonable. Is unemployment really going to beat after last month and this month's ADP? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows. Good morning. Today is bullish. Yeah, I mean, the market's up today for sure. I don't know if it's going to keep going up, but the market's up so far right now. And the good thing is yesterday we got a generator installed. So no matter what, I'm never going to not be able to be on this stream. So no matter what, even if my power goes out, I'm still going to be able to run the stream. We got like a big generator. So like no matter what, we're going to have power. Honestly, we've just been through so much crap where the power's gone out. Well, gold is down a lot. Again, the way gold moves though, so like gold's down, but like gold, the way gold moves, like gold's been pretty much flat for the last few years. Like gold was at 195s back in June of 2020. Gold was at 195. It's currently at about 180 on the GLD. If we look at actual gold, let me see. So actual gold prices, which is /GC is the symbol. Gold in June of 2020 was at about $2,000. Currently, it's at 1967. So gold is down a little bit over the last few years, but it's still up a lot short term. And I'm holding some, but it's kind of a diversification trade where it's like I'm not. It's just kind of hedging my other trades. Yeah, but I mean, SNR, again, I think the EPS, I think one thing that happens a lot, and again, maybe you're right in this situation because Apple did drop But I think Apple was just extended on the upside, you know. But what I will say is, like, one thing that we get from bearish traders sometimes from these earnings reports is, like, they'll ignore the major report, right? Like EPS, which is profitability. Like EPS is a gauge on profitability. Sales revenue is how much money they're bringing in, regardless of individual sectors of their business. Um, and like something that we'll see, and it happens a lot with like economic data as well. Like with CPI is a better example too, where it's, we get CPI come out, and base CPI might be, lower than expected. Core CPI might be lower than expected, but the yearly core CPI is like slightly higher than expected, right? And so they'll isolate that one negative aspect and then say, see, this is bad. And it's like, well, yeah, but if 4 out of 5, of the metrics are good and one's bad, I don't know how valid the argument it is to bring up the one bad metric and say, see, but again, in this case, to be fair, I think you might be right in this situation, because Apple did drop from their report. And again, I'm not talking about you guys. I guess my point is, like, I think EPS, which is profitability and margins, was better than expected. Revenue was better than expected for Apple as well. So I don't think it was a terrible earnings report. Now, you could isolate some different sectors of their business that went down, but all right, guys. Unemployment today, non-farm payroll days. That song's a little bit too hyped up. I guess the overarching point I typically try to make here is, like, let's try to be objective about things. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Apple might be a little extended on the upside, honestly. Nah, Apple's red. Apple's had, yeah, I mean, Apple's had red candles. A weekly chart's where you see how strong Apple really has been here over the last years. Over the last few years, here's a weekly chart, man. The weekly chart on Apple's really telling. Every candle represents a week here, and you can kind of see Apple's been on a tear. So again, I think when we have that, it might be some question marks and some extension where we are now in terms of, is this going to hold? And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Looking at our poll here, 51% think positive, 25% think negative, 13% think neutral, and 12% say I don't know. I appreciate the I don't know votes. Hey, what's up, Pawn? Yeah, AMD up, Nvidia down, right? Over the last week. Although it is green today. Question is, does Nvidia hold long term? All right, guys. So yeah, man. We need a huge consolidation on Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, blue chips. Yeah, I mean, I could say they're up a little bit. Too much short term. I can agree with you there. Again, we do have NKLA dropping earnings. Here is SPY. And again, another big one is Amazon, man. Look at Amazon. Amazon pulling the market up, helping the market a little bit. You can see Amazon numbers right here. So Amazon helping the market some at 140s. Market's doing pretty good, Danny. You know, market's up. S&P up, NASDAQ up. Gold down, I think. Yeah, gold down a little bit, but the S&P and the NASDAQ are up. Are y'all red or green so far on the week? Looking at our voting here, 51% say positive market reaction. 24% negative, 14% neutral, 12% say I don't know. All right, guys. NVIDIA bubble, AMD fair value, ON bubble, INTC. Yeah, we do have some earnings today. We do have some earnings today, guys. Again, today we have Fisker sometime before the open. We've got NKLA sometime before the open at 9 a.m. I think NKLA is scheduled to release theirs. Fubo dropping theirs at 8 a.m. Enbridge at 7. Cinemark drops theirs at 6:30, so they're already out with theirs for Cinemark. Let's see what Cinemark showed. Maybe it's going to influence AMC. But CNK ended up swinging to profit. They posted an EPS beat of 80 cents, better than 54-cent estimates for Cinemark. Sales came in at 942 million, beat the 880 million expected here. The link right there for Cinemark. There's the number right there for Cinemark. Again, they did better than expected. If you look at CNK, it's up to 1830s. Here's the SPY on the right. SPY at 450. Green on the day, but pulling back a little bit in pre-market. But yeah, there's Cinemark numbers. Does Lucid drop theirs today? When's Lucid earnings? Yeah, Lucid drops their numbers in 3 days on Monday. Yeah, I think the market's waiting for unemployment and non-farm data again. That's the big release today. Unemployment and non-farm data is the big release. I don't really have any downside targets. I'm not really one that gives targets. I don't know what Apple's going to do. What time is NKLA earnings today? So NKLA is scheduled to drop theirs at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when they're supposed to drop. Again, looking at our poll numbers here, we did do a poll. 100, we got hundreds of votes. 53% say positive reaction, 22% think negative reaction, 12% think neutral, and 13% say I don't know. Remember, we do have Apple. Yeah, Apple did beat, but they're still down, probably from extension. Again, if you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and bump that like button up. We only got 36 likes. I think we could do better than that. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. You can see the SPY starting to pull back a little bit this morning. It's down to 450 right now. 450 might be a psychological level, but we're now under the VWAP, under the volume weighted average price, under the 200 EMA. And again, today we're going to drop unemployment, non-farm payroll data. These will move markets for sure, at least a little bit. We don't know which way, but yeah, I'm sure it moves the same. What's the symbol, Bow? I'm good, Raphael. What's up, Harshal? Yeah. All right, guys. Market's dipping down a little bit as we speak, but not a ton. And we're up in Etsy today. Yeah. Again, we're just kind of sitting back, watching the SPY pull back. SPY now under 450s here. Here's the SPY right around 450s, underneath it now. Right at 450s. So SPY pulling back. Amazon trying to bounce at that volume weighted average price level. Look at the VWAP 200 EMA. And this is why I love this level, is because like I could play this level and just take it over and over and over again when it pulls back. And it's usually a pretty high percentage setup. Look at the dip. So we got the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price coincide to right around the same spot. And so when you get like a decent little pullback to this level, a lot of the time you're going to get this type of bounce like we got here. Just works really well if you can be patient and wait for it. So again, if you're not watching the 200 EMA VWAP combo on your charts, it can work nicely. Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with anything. Nobody can, but it can work nicely if you put it up. All right, so there's the bounce right there, right at that spot. Look at the back. I'm telling you, like I've back tested these systems. You know, again, I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. Nobody can, but look at this pop. All right, guys. So there's the bounce. You know, again, I'm pretty I can see these a lot, man. I see these happen a lot, and they're some of my favorite trades. Look, we called this bounce basically. Look at that. We told you guys we might get a little bounce right at that 200 EMA VWAP level, and we did. All right, guys, we got 30 minutes left, 30 seconds left until the market actually gets a little bit more volatility, potential volatility here with all this stuff. SPY still dipping down to 44.9. Again, we got a little pop there. Here is now it is past 7. There's the 7 a.m. bell. And another thing is like when we actually break under the 200 EMA, so when we actually like flush underneath this spot, that does mean like potential trend changes. Although typically I'd like to see like a large enough breakdown underneath it to see if we get some good movement there. What's your favorite buy today, guys? Let me know. Fisker just dropped their results. What is Fisker? FSR? Yeah, FSR. All right, so Fisker BDPS at 25-cent loss versus 31-cent expected loss. Sales of 825 missed the 20.4 million estimates. Is this right? Sales only came in at less than 1 million. If that's the case, FSR is probably dropping drastically on this report. Because, I mean, if they're expecting 20 million and they only showed 800K, it's a pretty big miss, no? There's a lot of orders going through. Yeah, that's what it says on TOS. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but that's what it says. Production, second quarter production came in at 1,022. July production was 1,009. They updated 23 production forecasts. The number in chat right there, so you can see it at the bottom of the screen. Second quarter revenue was only 825K. Nvidia pulling back a little bit. All right, FSR up, maybe on these production numbers. We do have Fisker bouncing a little bit. There's Fisker bouncing back up. But again, this did bounce at the 200 EMA volume weighted average price for Amazon. Looks like it really wants to hold that trend. Who sold Neo? Again, there's FSR. It is bouncing up a little bit. Apple's still down dramatically here from everything. Starting to finally bounce back up a little bit, but it is still weak. Oh, sorry. I actually didn't mean to click your link. I was trying to click Fisker right there. Sorry, Raphael. I didn't even mean to put that up. Yeah, I mean, it happens, dude. Shout out to the guy that shamed me for not buying FNKO at $20 a share. It's now at $7. Shout out to him. I'm gonna have to go find that video where I had that argument with that guy, because I had the guy like, dude, I had this guy come in my stream and basically push FNKO, and I told him, I was like, hey man, you know, I don't know if Funko Pop's the best investment long term. And again, I understand Funko Pop. My daughter has a bunch of Funko Pop stuff, right? But my argument to him at the time was that it's a trendy thing. That right now Funko Pops are like big and trendy. You know what I mean? But there's no guarantee that they're going to be big and trendy in 20 years, i.e. Beanie Babies. Like, look at Beanie Babies right now. Everybody thought they would be so valuable. They were collecting them and all that stuff. Beanie Babies are essentially worthless. Do you have a couple that are worth a lot? Sure. But like, you know, and again, when you correlate that with the stock price of FNKO, we've seen a lot of dips in FNKO. Like every time I go to the store, they're never sold out. They're oversaturated, I guess is the point. Like they're selling too many of them. And I think if Funko Pop wants these things to retain their value and they want people to collect them, then they have to limit the production of some of these things. You know, they have to limit the production. And I'm sure they're doing that to a certain extent, but whenever I go anywhere, there's so many different Funko Pops everywhere. It just seems saturated. You know, and with that, you can see FNKO diving down to under $7 a share now. Yeah, I didn't actually mean to put your comment up there, Raphael. Sorry, bro. But yeah, anyways, point is the dude, like, the guy, like, straight up tried to shame me for not buying Funko Pop and for not liking Funko Pop long term, and he got weird and he got emotional and he started calling names. And again, this is when the Funko Pop was at $20 a share, basically. You know, I don't expect anybody to come around and be like, "Yo, John, you were right. I was wrong. You were smart. I was dumb. You're very handsome and I'm not attractive." But, like, you know, it feels good. It feels good to be right. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I definitely told him I didn't like Funko Pop. Again, here's the daily chart of Funko Pop. It's gone from basically $20 all the way to 7. Beanie Babies, yep. They might have. Scoops. Yeah. And I might be wrong about Funko Pop. Like, I'm not sure if you're a collector pawn. I like collecting things. I'm a big Pokemon guy. So, like, when I go to the store, I buy Pokemon cards. But, like, even Pokemon cards, like, the ones you buy now are worthless, basically. Like, they don't do anything. Like, you don't ever. Okay, like the easiest way to put it is, like, back in the 90s, right? One of the interesting parts about Pokemon cards in general was, like, back in the 90s, you would buy a pack and, like, it was a small chance, but there was a chance that you were going to get something that's really expensive, like, that's really rare, that's really expensive in your stack. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I feel like none of the Pokemon cards that are out there are going to have that. Like, I don't think any of them are really, like, I don't know how many expensive cards are left in the deck. I guess if you get a Charizard, that's kind of expensive, but that's the only one I really know. And, like, all the decks that I see them selling, I don't really see any super, like, my son is all about Pokemon. Like, he is opening packs every day. Every time we go to the store, he wants Pokemon cards. And, like, every time he gets a holographic, I look it up online to see if it's worth anything. And it never is. They're never worth anything nowadays. And so the only ones that are really retaining value are the Charizards and the old ones. You know, the ones from the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s. Those are the ones that are still retaining value and that are valuable. And I got a couple of those upstairs. I bought my son a holographic Charizard a year or two ago. That's in a case. It's a level grade 10 holographic card Charizard. But yeah, I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they need to dump their inventory, to be honest. To me, they seem saturated. Like, if everywhere I go there's a Funko Pop, it's saturated. It's kind of like Beanie Babies, man. You know, everywhere you go, they were selling Beanie Babies. After a certain point, they just got so saturated. Everybody had so many of them that they were just worthless. BBIG at 55 cents a share. Yep, that's kind of how it goes. Billy Madison, bro, you're getting your movies mixed up, dude. It's Happy Gilmore, sir. Billy Madison was the adult that went back to school. Happy Gilmore was the hockey player turned golfer. All right. Honestly, I'm so excited it's Friday, dude. I get to rest. Okay, guys. So I don't know if you guys know this, but GM officially revealed that the starting price of their flagship EV24 Cadillac Celestiq is a whopping $340,000 before options. And this is all quoting Sawyer Merritt. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. I mean, this thing's kind of cool looking, but it's not almost half a mil cool. It's not 300K plus cool. You know what I mean? Like, bro, if I'm gonna spend 300,000 on a vehicle, dude, I'm gonna get a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, not a freaking GM, bruh. Like, come on, dude. Who the heck is gonna pay for this thing? It is pretty cool inside. I will give it that. The inside looks really, really nice, but it's still not a $400,000 vehicle, and it's not cool enough looking to justify that price. They need to make this thing much cool looking. This thing just looks like a regular Cadillac. Like here it is right here, bro. And it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, look, it's interesting. But am I gonna spend $350 on it? No, I'm not. Nobody's going to. You know, lower that price, sir. You either make the thing look like. Here's the problem. Okay, here's the real problem. All right, $350,000 on. Again, here's the problem: is that if you're gonna make a car that's that expensive, you got to make it look like a supercar. It's got to be a supercar. That's the only justifiable way any rich person's gonna pay for that, right? It's got to be a supercar. This is not a supercar. It looks cool, sure, but it's not a supercar, and I don't think it's gonna do well. It's too expensive. That's a bespoke car, not meant for general public. Well, why are they putting a price tag on it then? It does look cool. Listen, I'm not saying it doesn't look cool. Look at the inside. The inside looks dope, man. I like it. But again, is it $340,000 cool? No. Everybody knows it's not that cool. All right, so again, here's the Spy. Spy's not really dumping super heavy. It's dumping, though. Mostly flat on the day now. Here's Apple. Is Apple still falling? Amazon not holding its gains a little bit or something? No, Amazon's still doing pretty well up there. Go to that 200 EMA. Yeah, I don't know. Gold is down a lot. I don't know. Tesla. I don't know if gold is a buy or sell. I really don't know. Tesla at 261s right now, basically. Green over the last few days, yesterday and this morning, but pulled back over the last 30, 40 minutes. Nvidia did the same thing. A lot of stuff, basically a lot of stuff is green yesterday and today, but red over the last 30 minutes. A lot of stuff looks like that. How does MooMoo level 2 compare to TOS? Well, MooMoo level 2 is great, and it's free if you sign up. And again, if you want to check out MooMoo, again, they're a sponsor of mine. Great way to help support the channel. MooMoo really is nice, to be honest. Like, MooMoo is really nice. Again, I switched over from MooMoo, and now when I'm using it, it's just kind of super seamless. And again, what I like to do, like, let's check out the markets today. Brought to you by MooMoo. We're looking at the markets today, brought to you by MooMoo. We can see live streaming up about 6%, medical distribution up 2.2%. NFT stocks are up about 2%. SPACs are up 1.7%. When we look at a heat map, again, you see like Google was red, or no, Google was green yesterday. Nvidia was green. Apple was red. Microsoft was flat. Johnson & Johnson was slightly green. Eli Lilly was red, along with most other drug manufacturers. Internet retail stocks did pretty good. Insurance was green. Auto manufacturers were slightly red or slightly green. Banks were pretty red yesterday, so banks were down. Utilities were down. Biotechs were down. And again, that's the market. In pre-market, the big movers on today are Tupperware up to 560, MF, ESGL, POL, AAOI. If we look at the hot stocks, ELIQ, Electric Power, BGDX, Upwork, T2, a couple other ones. The biggest decliners today are ARAV, BPTH, RBOT, Neon, and DXC. If we look at strategies going on right now, you can see some head and shoulders, nothing really going on there. Horn tops, bullish flags in these different sectors right here. You can kind of see bullish diamonds, bullish symmetrical diamonds. Really useful here. You can kind of see the different ratios there as well. We built a screener. These are stocks that are around the 20-day low, that have a PE ratio under 40 and have a market cap greater than or equal to 100 billion. And so MasterCard hits this list. McDonald's hits this list as well. Merck hits this list as well. And this is brought to you by MooMoo. This is really useful because MooMoo lets me find all these different things. Again, if we go to Paperfolio section, you can kind of see on the day, this guy's up 1.65%. He's holding Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, Netflix, Snapchat, Neo, SPY, MooMoo, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and AMC. You can kind of also follow a lot of these other traders. I can follow this guy, Matt's portfolio, and kind of follow him if I want. And I can also see who's up the most on the month. This guy's up 200+% on EVLO. 200% on EVLO. And again, if you look at EVLO, it's up huge amounts short term. So this guy is making some money there. We go to news here and see on the calendar for economic data today. And this is another reason why MooMoo is useful. Is you go to the calendar on economic data. I can go to economic data here, go to North America, click 3 stars, which is the biggest ones. And see, today we got payroll numbers expected at 200,000, unemployment rate expected at 3.6%, average hourly earnings expected at 0.3%. And then next week we got CPI on the 10th. So pretty big releases. And again, this is MooMoo. I could also see the biggest news stories today. You can see the prelim data on the payrolls numbers and unemployment. You can kind of see all that justification here. Again, if we go to Explore, you can kind of see all that stuff we showed you. And on options, they give you free unusual activity, which you can kind of see all the big option orders coming in here. It's a very useful, guys. This is called MooMoo. It's a stock platform that has zero commissions in stocks. It's open the entire time of pre-market. And if you open up an account and deposit $100, they give you 5 free stocks. You open up a deposit over 1,000, they give you 15 free stocks. You open up a deposit over 5K, they give you the previous 15 plus a free share of Google or Tesla. It's a link if you want to check it out. Also pin this link to the top of the page if you want. All right. What do you guys think is going to happen today? We got all this data coming out. Again, we're at 449.60s, 449.60s. Still trying to push up a little bit. Again, we do have unemployment data and non-farm payroll data. We're going to put a timer up so we can see exactly when that stuff comes out. Let's take a look at everything going on. All right, so again, Apple reported lower iPhone and iPad sales. Services beat expectations, though. Amazon delivered better than forecast earnings and guidance. Revenue rose 11%. Amazon Web Services growth stabilized. Amazon cut 27,000 corporate jobs and had 1.46 million workers as of the end of June, down 4% year over year. Online store sales increased 4%, but fell short of the 6.5% expected. Coinbase earnings beat, but mooted reaction marks crypto woes. Airbnb posts the best second quarter profit it's ever had on international travel. Second quarter revenue for Airbnb rose 18% yesterday. We had AMD earnings earlier in the week also. All right, guys. Amazon still holding its gains pretty well. Again, the SPY down to 449.60s. Slightly green on the day, but not much. If we look at the actual market, again, slightly green on the SPY, but not much. Still a green day yesterday, though. Mostly brought upon by Amazon's strength in earnings. Tupperware, yeah. Honestly, Tupperware has been kind of crazy, man. It's not really what I typically buy or sell, but it's on a kind of a run. So Tupperware ripped up Tupperware went from 61 cents mid-July all the way up to over $6 a share. So it over 10x. And then it dipped from that $6 a share level down to about 350 or 330s, and then it bounced from that level overnight all the way back up to 720s in after hours yesterday, and it's currently sitting at about 550. So just very, very volatile price action for Tupperware. If we look at Tupperware here, this is like a huge move in markets that everybody's watching, and everybody knows Tupperware, the company, but crazy activity over the last couple days. All right, gold at 179.40s on the GLD ETF. The actual gold is at about 1967, 1968 or so. So we're watching those as well. All right. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, man. We've been growing like crazy, dude. Over 112,000 subs. Yeah. AI, yeah, AI is interesting too. We'll see what happens with AI though, you know. AI, you know, with Microsoft and all this stuff, we're getting some pullbacks, but I think again, if GDP data comes in, or if unemployment data comes in good, you know, maybe we'll get some upward movement. I think the market will probably react positively to low unemployment. and negative to high unemployment, because I think regardless of what the market's fearing, inflation or recession, I think, ultimately the market's going to want to see low unemployment despite any of that stuff. And again, maybe I'm wrong there. I think, if the market's really fearing inflation, it could not want people working. And so the market might want to see less people working and higher unemployment for inflation problems. But the payroll numbers are going to be really, really interesting with everything going on right now. We still got over an hour before these data come out, but let me put the timer up. It's something I haven't done yet. All right, so here's the timer. We got about an hour and 3 minutes left. All right, guys. All right, payroll data, unemployment data. Again, NVIDIA might be at a little bounce level at 448. Let's see if the SPY is bouncing back up to 449.70s here, 449.70. So it is moving back up slightly. I'd like to see more upward movement here, but we are moving back up some. So we can watch that at 449.70s. Amazon, there's Tupperware. Here's Amazon, which is, again, leading the market, dragging the market up. Amazon's still consolidating around that 200 EMA VWAP level. Up to 140s, 60s again for Amazon. Apple, again, had earnings come out. They beat EPS, beat sales, but they did dip on lower iPhone sales and iPad numbers. Microsoft bouncing up some, still around 330s, 329s. And again, we're looking at other stuff. Let me know if you guys have any ideas today. Barclays reiterated underweight on Coinbase, maintained $70 price target. Rosenblatt downgraded Apple to neutral, maintained $198 price target. JPM, Needham maintained a buy on Amazon, raised price target to 160. Amazon analysts boost their forecast. Did have a couple other ones, but again, Amazon's still ripping up nicely. SPY pretty flat. Someone bought NVIDIA calls for September 1st to go to 540, 3.6 mil. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to hit that. I mean, we'd have to get another big squeeze to hit 540 over the next month, and it's possible, but, depending on where he bought that, he could sell it for profit. I don't know if it's going to hit 540, but we still got another month. What's your thoughts on non-farm payroll today regarding the dollar index? Well, payroll numbers, they might make positive reactions. They might make negative reactions. We don't really know, to be honest. We don't know if the market's going to go up, down, or sideways from these reports. We did have prelim payroll numbers come out the day before yesterday on Wednesday, and they came out much higher than expected. So like the prelim payroll numbers did drop on Wednesday of this week. And if you look at those numbers, For instance, like prelim payroll numbers came in at, it's called the non-farm employment change data. Let me make sure. And it dropped on Wednesday. So yeah, non-farm employment change data dropped on Wednesday. Again, it came in much higher than expected for payroll numbers. It came in at 324K versus 189,000 expected. So much higher than expected. And again, that dropped at 8:15. Let's take a look at the Q and see how the Q reacted to this. The NASDAQ down over the last couple of minutes, trending like the SPY. But again, so here's Thursday, here's Wednesday. And again, let's see when the payroll numbers dropped. So payrolls dropped at 8:30. So yeah, the payroll numbers dropped right here. Payroll numbers dropped right here, right? And you can kind of see mostly from this, we had a negative reaction to higher payroll numbers. Now, again, we have to consider whether that was actually from the payroll data, the prelim payroll data, which is again called the ADP non-farm employment change. But it's very relevant to watch, you know. And so again, last time we had higher than expected payroll numbers and the market fell on Wednesday. And so again, I'm not saying that's what we're going to get today. And that was the NASDAQ. We can look at the SPY's reaction a little bit closer here to see kind of how the SPY reacted to the payroll numbers, the prelim payroll numbers again on Wednesday. Again, here's Wednesday, same kind of thing here. So here's 8:30 right here. And so again, right at 8:30 here, again, did get a pretty negative effect on the SPY as well. So again, the question is this downward movement all from payroll numbers? And again, we don't know if these are from payroll numbers or not, but I know the market did dip down after the payroll numbers were released. And so that is something to consider today. So like if payroll numbers come in high, what happens? I don't know. We're going to watch for that. Again, payroll numbers today are expected to show up at 200,000. 200,000 today is what they're expected to show up as. They drop in about an hour. Unemployment also coming out today, expected to show up at 3.6%. Private payrolls expected at 179,000. 179,000 for private payrolls. All right. All right, so again, payroll numbers. Let me know in chat. Do you guys think the market reacts? Does the market move? Does the market move up and down? Does the market move up or down from this release? Again, unemployment numbers dropping today. Big release. All right, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get over 100 likes if we can. All right, so we're going to do a poll on Twitter. We're going to give 3 options. And we'll see how many people really support the channel. Hit the heart button on this channel, guys. We appreciate it. Also, give me a follow on Twitter if you have not already. We appreciate it. Again, here is the poll that we got going on right now. Again, give your boy a follow, a like on Twitter. I appreciate it. There's the link. Check it out. Positive upward market reaction. Again, there's the link on Twitter. It's super helpful just to take the time, hit the follow button if you could. We definitely appreciate it. TV Tyree says, speaking of PayPal, I just picked up a second job at a local pizza place to get trading income. My primary job is a special education teacher. Hey, nice, man. Hey, that's good work, bro. I hope you make some money, dude. Sell, sell, sell. We need an up day. Yeah, I mean, the market's been dipping down some. Hey, shout out to Jason and Trading Par for hitting the like button. We appreciate it. Again, Nvidia dipping down over the last few days. Apple dipping down on their earnings report as well. Yeah, I mean, VIRK, to be completely real, man, pro traders are not shorting tops. That's not what they're doing. Pro traders are not shorting tops most of the time. That's an incredibly risky and gambling type of trade. I think most people that are, no offense, speaking like that are probably just trying to influence their own positions. You know, buying dips long-term in blue chip healthy companies, the edge is far more profound than shorting the top. You know how risky shorting the top of anything is? And pro traders, actual pro traders, not people just trying to sound cool on the internet, but actual pro traders don't like that type of risk. I promise you. And again, yeah, that's all I'll say. When Powell stated that there will be pain, do you believe that's over? Well, Powell thinks that's over to a certain extent. The last FOMC meeting, Jerome Powell came out and said that he didn't think that we would hit a recession this year. Now, maybe we'll still get pain, but you get Nvidia down at 447.70s, 447.70s. Bill Ackman's underperforming the market this year. Bill Ackman in the first quarter is only up 7% when the rest of the market really is up like 40% this year. You know, so Bill Ackman is underperforming the market this year. Bill Ackman also lost a lot of money shorting Herbalife. And I don't like Herbalife either, but my point is, like, again, in the end, it doesn't matter. We don't all have to agree. But I'll tell you this. If you buy dips in blue chip companies, right? If you buy dips in blue chip companies, statistically, throughout a century of stock market activity, right? If you buy large pullbacks in blue chip healthy companies, that is going to have a far larger statistical edge than shorting the tops of blue chip healthy companies. Again, everybody can want to be Michael Burry, and you can all want to short, and that's fine. And you might make some money doing so. But to say that pro traders short tops and noob traders buy dips is backwards. You know, again, everybody wants to be Michael Burry, and I get it. And again, I think a lot of retail, like young retail traders, are swayed by stuff like that, or they're just really biased against the market for political reasons. But again, a lot of people have telling me have been telling me to sell, 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 and they've been telling me that for the last year, and the market has ripped up 40% this year. So I mean, you know, that's something that a lot of the same people that have been telling me that don't ever really truly acknowledge, because they know. You know what I mean? I think it's fine to short, and if you have an edge, make your money. I'm not against that at all. But also understand, like, the true long-term edge in markets when you zoom out long enough is on the upside. That's the true edge. Maybe we dip in between that, but I'm not going to chase those dips. Yeah, Ackman's up a lot over the last 20 years. But I don't think he makes most of his money shorting. Maybe I'm wrong though. But even if he does, which I don't think he does, but maybe I'm wrong. But even if he does, I think you can't just isolate one trader and say, "See, this pro trader does this." Like I could bring up Warren Buffett, you know? Like I could bring up a lot of long traders too to try to justify my bias. In the end, it doesn't matter. It's an unnecessary argument. Again, what I will say is that the true statistically proven edge in the market is long term. It goes up. You know, if you want to trade against that edge, it's kind of that's a noob trade. That's kind of a sucker's bet. If everybody wants to be Michael Burry, that's fine. I'm not against you if you do, but again, understand the true edge of the market. Y'all can chase market crashes, and maybe you're right. And again, maybe you make money, and that's great if you do. But again, for me personally, and my own risk tolerance, I'm going to go with the statistically proven thing, which is on the long side, long term. Ackman is spelled Ackman. I'm not talking about traders. I'm talking about the people who are making the most money out of the stock market in general. I'm talking about traders and investors, right? The biggest edge, the most money is 100% made not from shorting tops, but from buying blue chip healthy companies and sitting. You know, the most millionaires are made in this country. Do you know how most millionaires are actually made in this country? Right? Most millionaires are made in this country using a very simple system. All right. And that system involves diversifying into large cap healthy companies and exchange traded funds like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, buying and sitting. And then after getting their portfolio and diversifying, they are very frugal with their spending money. That's how most millionaires are made. You know, I know it might not be the most exciting thing in the markets. I know it's not the thing that'll make the gamblers happy with the rush of trading and profits. I get it. But that's the most consistent edge the market gives you. It's how most millionaires are actually made in the country. It's from value investing long term and real estate. But what data box? I don't have a data box here. Yeah, I like swing trading. I like day trading too, don't get me wrong, but I think shorting tops is risky. I think you could sell, but I think shorting tops is risky. Again, so far, 50% of people essentially think positive market reaction, 26% think negative, 13% think neutral, and 13% say, I don't know. Looking at our Twitter poll, 85% are bullish, 7% are bearish, or 8% are bearish. 8% are thinking a neutral reaction. Actually pretty similar to My millionaire friend made it buy and hold Apple, Microsoft, healthcare. He does manage everything himself. 100%. That's how most millionaires are made. And that's why it's kind of crazy. Like, again, you get a lot of people that are just chasing rainbows out here. You know what I mean? Chasing waterfalls, you know. And y'all remember what TLC said, okay? But no, on a serious note, like, again, that's the reality. Most millionaires are made buying and sitting on stocks. They're not made, you know, shorting, you know. Like The Big Short made that cool, and I love The Big Short. It's one of my favorite movies, probably my favorite movie in the world, right? But again, you got to call a spade a spade. You got to be honest about it. And again, the big edge is long-term value investing. Again, if you're good enough at day trading, that can be really good money too. But it's very difficult to master, and it's not the majority of people that are making their money that way. Right, 100%. I agree with you, Type. Type Jack, 95% of people should just invest in low-cost index ETFs and do something else. 100%. It's honestly kind of crazy. Like, I never understood giving financial planners your money. It's like, oh, they're like, oh, well, we're just going to take 2%. It's like, bro, 2%, dude? 2%? If the market does 6%, you're taking 2% of that per year? Damn, dude. Like, honestly, the same people that are giving their money to financial planners would do so much better just buying the SPY, buying the S&P, buying the NASDAQ, buying the Q, you know, buying gold, you know what I mean, and just sitting. They're going to have much better returns doing that than paying their financial planner 2% of their money. You know, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me. And again, of course, people who have their money with financial planners are going to say, well, no, you know, but most of your financial planners are just buying bonds and exchange traded funds. And it's very easy for you to do that. You don't have to give them 2% to do something that simple, to be honest. Hey, John, weird question. Would it be better to be a real estate agent or broker? It's one of the same, Shepard. So it's one of the same, essentially. Number one, I'm going to preface this with I am not a real estate professional. I mean, I have my real estate license, but again, I might be wildly wrong with anything and everything I say. All right, and I'm going based off of just Texas purely, okay? So just as long as you understand that. But it's basically one of the same. Like, in my state, at least, you could become a broker, but you have to be a real estate agent for like 6 years first, or you have to have like a certain amount of hours under your belt and experience as a real estate agent before you're allowed to be a real estate broker. You're not going to be able to just go right in and be a licensed broker without being an agent first for years, you know? So that's number one. So basically it's kind of like a stepping stone. Well, it's better to be a broker for sure. It's more experience, it's more credentialed, but you know, it's kind of like a level up. Like, you become a real estate agent when you have the experience you need, then you can open up your own brokerage and become a broker yourself, and stuff like that. But it's essentially one and the same. Like, it's kind of like an apprentice versus the master, which is the broker, if that makes sense. I'm a teacher, a tutor. I call myself a homework coach. I get paid because kids don't have the confidence or structure to sit and attempt their own. Well, some financial advisors do the same. 100%, Glenn. I understand. Like, I understand why. It's a convenience fee. I guess my point is paying 2% for that convenience is going to eliminate a lot of the edge you get in markets. And so it's fine if you have a flat fee, and that's fine. I'm sure you're getting paid a flat fee. You're not sharing the test results with them, Glenn. And that's the difference, right? So like, with your argument, you're saying, hey, I'm a tutor. Financial planners do the same. Sure. But the difference is that the equivalent would be like, hey, the financial planner gets to reap the benefits of you scoring high on the test. is basically what it would be. And of course, like if you went to a student and said, hey, I'll help you do this, but we have to share the test results. Like basically I get to keep, the test results and send them off to like most of the parents would be like, F off, bro. No. You know what I mean? And so financial planners taking 2% of your returns, it's kind of out there. And what it causes specifically financial planners to do, it causes them to constantly want to buy more and buy more and buy more, even when they shouldn't. And so it's a conflict of interest, because ultimately what happens is the financial planner gets paid more whenever there's more activity, right? And so that's an innate bias in their head, like, hey, we need more activity because I get paid more. The more activity there is, the more I get paid, right? That's a conflict of interest, where if you just pay the financial planner a flat fee, then the only pressure they have is to do well, because you do well, more people will sign up. You know what I mean? But aside from that, if you base it off of activity by giving them a percentage of the returns, then they're just going to keep buying up stuff. They're going to make 2% no matter what. And ultimately, it's just kind of a ridiculous thing, especially when you consider most of them just kind of, buy the SPY. They buy the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, and they buy bonds or treasury bills or whatever the time frame is, and they just kind of sit on it. Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I've read The Millionaire Next Door, and that's where I'm getting a lot of this data, is like what basically the premise of The Millionaire Next Door, and I've read it before, and so I can, the premise of The Millionaire Next Door is that most millionaires are made by being frugal, investing and sitting on their money, and that the people who live in the biggest houses and drive the fanciest cars are usually not as wealthy as you think they are. The people that are truly wealthy, like the real millionaires in the country, live below their means, and they live frugally, and they buy and they sit on investments. They don't take crazy investments. They don't take crazy things. They buy and they sit. Now, I think if you want to make money faster, you can learn to day trade. And I think in day trading, it's justifiable if you're good enough. But I think you got to go into it understanding that most people are going to fail day trading, and that's just a natural consequence of it. Most people are going to fail. But if you can become good at it, that's a skill you'll have for the rest of your life as well, an income producing skill. But it takes a long time to learn. And again, if you're going to learn, that's great. I recommend a funded account program. Top Step is the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. And again, they're the most legit one in the world. They limit your risk to where, I think they might have a wait list right now. I think they might have paused signups. They might have a wait list, but you could try to sign up regardless. But again, it limits your risk. The base combine's $49, right? They're going to give you a demo and test your skill in futures. And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule. You can day trade short, but they're going to give you that demo and they're going to test your skill. And if you could pass that test, they're going to give you a 50K demo. If you can hit 3K in profit without losing 2K and following the rest of their rules, essentially, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. Once you do that, once you're funded in that account, if you make 20K, you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit and the other 9K. So you get to keep 19 out of your first 20. But basically, there's a 90% split. Regardless of how much you make, there's a 90% split once you're actually funded. And so it creates this system where you have a limited risk, but the reward is essentially the same as putting up the money yourself. You're keeping 90%. And so it's the best of both worlds, where if you lose, it's not the end of the world, but if you pass it, again, that's what I would do if I would start over. If I was really trying to learn day trading, that's what I would do. But again, I am biased in their favor because they pay me money. They're a sponsor of mine. But even if they weren't a sponsor, I genuinely think it's a good option for traders. Again, there's the link if you want to check it out. We got about 500 people here already. Still got over 30 minutes before this data comes out. And we'll see if we get anything good. Yeah, you have to join a wait list right now, Alex. They're trying to get all their stuff fixed. I see Top Step even reset my account for free too. So I think they're they're fixing all the errors that happen. So shout out to Top Step, man. I think they're doing it right. Again, they've just had such a huge influx of traders that signed up with them that they're doing it right. You know. Man, Leap AI. I will buy Roblox. Yeah, I bought a couple stuff. We're pretty green overnight. Again, green in Target today, green in Roblox, green in Microsoft today, green in Etsy, green in ENPH, green in Disney, green in Exxon, green in Walgreens on the total trades as well. Hey, what's up, Yashin in Portugal? It's hard to do it by yourself, though. I pay everything by myself, and my regret is that I have over 13 credit cards and includes charge cards, and I don't have a car note, though. That's good. Yeah, I don't have a car note either. It really depends on how much money you make, to be honest. It's really difficult to save if you're living paycheck to paycheck. And so I truly think, like, I think if you don't have some high producing skill or job or work, right? I wasn't ever actually able to save until I had a high producing skill or high producing income. I think if you don't have that, it depends on where you are. If you have a decent income, if you're making 50K a year, you know, if I made 50K a year, I'll tell you what I would do, right? It depends on how old I am. But if I'm in my 20s or 30s, I'm going to try to start businesses with that 50K extra money that I get from the 50K income. I'm going to try to start businesses. Eventually, when one sticks, and again, I think the comment saying there's the 8 a.m. scrum, so we might get some movement here. But eventually, if one sticks, then I would pivot to then diversifying and saving. But you know, you gotta have a business that works. And again, I think the statistics behind businesses are that like 1 out of 6 succeeds, and so you're gonna fail 6 times before you succeed in business. And again, I can confirm that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. I think most people start a business, fail, and then they never try another one. You know, and I think that's the wrong move. You got to keep trying until it sticks. And eventually, if you're good enough at it, it will stick. Something will stick and you'll make money with it. The best advice I give there is just monetize your passions. Figure out what you enjoy doing and monetize that somehow. That's the best thing you can do. Yeah, that 1,500 a week is great. Yeah. You know, you're going to be making 6K a month. That's great. Again, there's the scrum. We have the SPY pulling back. I'm going to put the Q up on the right side here. Again, we do have Amazon going crazy today. Here's Amazon. Amazon at 140. Again, the opening scrum volatility that we typically get here. Kind of see the SPY bouncing, all that good stuff. Nvidia still at 448s. But businesses are difficult. Most people get swayed by like the typical drop shipping, wholesaling real estate, Amazon FBA nonsense, which is just kind of so saturated. All those markets are so saturated, man. People make more money selling courses on how to do those three than they ever do actually doing those three. You know what I mean? Even with like Amazon FBA, right? Amazon FBA, the margins are not as good as people think. You might spend 10K a month to make one, which is not a good margin. And it's very risky because, like, again, the example I always use for Amazon FBA is like when fidget spinners first came out, you had a bunch of people that bought fidget spinners for $40 a piece wholesale from overseas, from Alibaba or wherever, right? And so they think they're going to get rich selling fidget spinners, right? Well, within a couple months, fidget spinners have gone from being like $50 each to being like $2 sold at gas stations. Like, they were so saturated. And so people who spent thousands on inventory on fidget spinners lost boatloads of money over the next couple months. And in that regard, like, the margins are just not that good, and trends change in products fast, right? Like, you basically got to get on the hot products, and eventually that's going to switch. But if you can find a good product that has a high search volume, like it needs to be a high search volume, then, that's when you'll start making money. But again, it's just a risky thing. Yeah, Shopify sites with drop shipping could be okay. It just depends. Again, it's going to be a hard thing to succeed in, but if you can scale it well, then, do your thing. Yeah, I see AAOI is up a lot. Again, I'm not really following it. It's too cheap of a stock for me to really be interested. Fubo just dropped their numbers. So Fubo did just release their results here. Here's Fubo right here on the left side. So Fubo out with their numbers. We could look at what they showed here for Fubo. And I actually have Fubo. Fubo showed second quarter revenue of $305 million. That's relative to the $302.11 million expected. So higher than expected revenue. They're projecting 1.32 to 1.34 million paid subscribers in the third quarter. They're seeing 2023 revenue coming in at 1.26 to 1.28 billion. They see third quarter revenue guidance coming in at 272.5 to 277.5. They said they're confident that their cash position provides the company with sufficient liquidity to fund operating plan until achieving expected positive cash flow in 2025. So y'all know the popular alien Alf is set to make a comeback with Ryan Reynolds starring in the Alf. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or not. So Alf was a TV character in the 80s. But Alf is set to make a comeback with Ryan Reynolds. Again, Amazon ripping all the way back up to 140s here. We're looking at some other earnings that were released. I don't think any other ones really came out. We had Dominion Energy drop their numbers too. NKLA released their numbers as well, guys. So there's a Fubo. Here's NKLA. Again, pretty flat. Amazon popping back up. Let's look at Apple here. Here's Apple. They do. Yeah, but I think their AirTag basically makes all of that, like, people use the AirTags for everything, including that Shepherd. So I don't know if building a dedicated, I'm sure building a dedicated one, they already have so many of those that like they would be entering a market that's already built, that already has products out there. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin price action? Bitcoin at 29.3 right now. I think it's basically been pretty flat for the last couple days after it dipped down under 30. Bitcoin as a whole has been pretty neutral really since June. What's your thoughts on this economic release? So again, payroll numbers are interesting to watch because payroll numbers specifically today, guys, are, you know, prelim payroll numbers were much higher than expected. You know, prelim payroll numbers were much higher than expected Wednesday, and the market actually dropped from the higher than expected payroll numbers. And so I don't know if it's going to be something where we see bullish or bearish action from these payroll numbers. I'm really not sure. I know unemployment typically there's going to be a negative correlation with unemployment and market activity. So like if unemployment comes in high, obviously markets are probably going to drop because of a lack of confidence or because of losing confidence. But payroll numbers are a little bit more nuanced, I think, and neither one of these are ever like necessarily like 100% certainty in terms of reactions, despite what the chat says. Let me know how you think the reaction is going to be, guys. And again, let me know what you guys think. Again, we got about 22 minutes, guys. 22 minutes. Again, if you want to vote on the reaction we got today, follow me on Twitter. Hit that follow button right here, guys. We appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. Positive market reaction. I'm not sure if we're going to get a positive market reaction or not. All right. BitGet and Adam Devine partnering, known as the voice of his generation. I like Adam. I'm a big Workaholics fan, but the voice of his generation. What a guy, man. No, this is MooMoo right here in front of us. You can check out MooMoo at the link above. .3%. I think if we come in at 3.3%, the market will probably go up. But again, it's never like a for sure thing. We don't really know exactly what the market's going to do. We can only speculate. What state are you in, CT? All right, guys. So again, we got a little bit of a dip on Amazon down to 140.20s, 140.20s. The Q, NASDAQ still sitting there. Got a couple ways we could trade. We got about 600 people here. We still got 20 minutes or so until the data release. I like Rivians. I think Rivians are cool, but again, as for whether the car brand's going to succeed, I'm not sure. I think they're cool. But again, as for whether they're going to succeed, I don't know. I know they've had a pretty tough few years. They were almost at 180s at one point in time. They're currently at about $26 a share. They were down to almost $10 a share at a couple points. Apple's still falling down to 186s. So Apple's still dipping some here. There's Amazon still bouncing up at the 200 EMA. The VWAP and the 200 EMA are right around the same spot for Amazon. SPY mostly heading down some. I don't know if you should sell or buy. We're watching Exxon. Yeah, I think the market's still pretty high up there. It's going to be right at 8:30. I don't know whether it's going to be good or bad, but I will cover what the payroll data numbers and the unemployment data numbers are, and then I'll cover what the market reaction is. Again, it's more nuanced than just good or bad. One of the big things everybody's always like, is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? It's more nuanced than that, guys. It really is. It's not something where we're going to say, yeah, payroll numbers are good or payroll numbers are bad. What I will say is that non-farm employment change numbers, which are kind of prelim payroll numbers, dropped Wednesday in the market, somewhat reacted negatively to higher than expected payroll numbers. But again, today's not just payroll numbers. It's also unemployment numbers. So today we have unemployment and payrolls dropping. And so with all of that stuff coming out, we're going to have to just react instead of trying to predict. Nobody really knows what we're going to get. What do you guys, we can all guess though. What do you guys think is going to come out for unemployment? What do you get? What's your guess on what unemployment numbers will be? So here, what is your guess on today's unemployment rating? I'm going to go with 3.5%. I'm going to go with 3.5%. Again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm going to go with a slight beat, but who knows? 3.5% is what I'm going to go with. But again, purely a guess. I have no idea what that's going to be, and I especially don't have any idea what the market reaction is going to be either. So and next week's actually pretty busy too, honestly. Again, we got Palantir numbers, Tyson numbers, Lucid numbers next week, Chegg, Paramount. Did we do Palantir earnings last time? I can't remember if we did or not. That'd have been the morning. All right, guys. Unemployment, non-farm payroll data coming out today, guys. Be ready. Again, we're going to cover the payroll numbers, the non-farm employment payrolls or the non-farm payroll numbers today as well. Again, let me know what you guys think. Market's sitting tight. We still got about 15 minutes before the release. All right, guys. Hey. We got unemployment, non-farm payroll numbers, 3.6% is what they're expecting for unemployment. Non-farm payroll numbers expected at 200,000, and this is in the wake of Wednesday prelim payroll numbers coming in much higher than expected. It was like 370s is what I remember for non-farm payrolls on Wednesday, so a pretty big release. We still got a couple minutes before this reading is out. Family's good. Family's good. Payrolls would be positive as all big tech add new jobs back. Hope we get a bounce from Apple, or we could get dragged down. Yeah, for sure. Anyone know what happened? Yeah, I don't even know that. I don't even know if them Louis. It's going to be tight. Unemployment hasn't changed much over the last few months. 3.5% means bear. No, it's a little bit. 3.5 is a little bit lower than expected. Again, I'm saying that. I think 3.7% is very possible too. 95% of earnings guided higher with 25-year surprise. Apple is down 3%. Yeah. Yeah, we do have the Hollywood strike. Yeah, 3.6% is as expected. So if it does show up at 3.6, that's going to be a neutral reading. Yeah, so the dollar index is one to pay attention to as well. Dollar index at 102.50s. 102.50s. Pull it back a little bit. There's usually an inverse correlation with markets and the dollar. Got about 700 people here. Yeah, well, they're on a wait list. They've paused signups for now, John, to fix all the problems that they were having. So they have a wait list now, but you can sign up to the wait list here. Saying in here first, 202K or 195. All right. If you're right, I will credit you, sir. I put a chuck. Less than expected, I think. Again, we'll see what we get. Again, what do you guys think about payroll numbers? Will payroll numbers come in higher or lower than expected? Payroll numbers come in higher or lower than the 200K expected. They're expected at 200K. Again, the queue moving up a little bit here. Still got about 10 minutes left. About 9 minutes, actually. Higher. Again, we'll see. I don't know what's going to signal good or bad numbers here. I really don't. Y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. I think we'll get exactly what's predicted from Nonfarm. Yeah, I mean, the SPY is technically green on the day, guys. The previous closing price on the SPY was 448.80s. We're at 449.60 right now. So the SPY is green. It also had a green day yesterday. The NASDAQ is green as well today at about 374.50 versus 373.80 previous closing price. The Q also had a green day there as well. Amazon is green big today, still at 140s, pretty sideways all of pre-market, but still up big on their earnings report. And again, we'll see if it's influenced by this data as well. The Apple is obviously down today for sure. It's down from 191s to 186s basically. So again, 185 even is the low of the day, or low of Apple over the last few days. And so again, we'll see if we hit that. Or actually, this 185 level is the low of Apple over the last 20 days or so, maybe longer. Again, guys, we got about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. Make sure you hit the live button next to the. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button to make sure you're fully caught up. All right, guys. So again, the SPY and the Q are pushing up a little bit. Amazon's still over 140s ahead of this release. We still got 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes. All right, we got 800 people here. Again, 6 minutes left. Yeah, please don't pressure anybody to do anything, guys, because to be honest, nobody knows. But again, there's no pressure here, team. If you kindly request. Yeah. Yeah. Again, what I will tell you is anybody pressuring anybody to do anything is usually just really emotional about their own positions. People confident in their positions are definitely not telling everybody to buy or sell. The other thing to understand is that like you're not going to be influencing the market by telling everybody to sell. Like Apple's got a huge float, so does the market in general. The SPY has a huge float. The S&P has a huge float. I mean, and so you're not going to have any influence, and it's just kind of it seems emotional. Less than 5 minutes, guys. Less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Again, I think a lot of these guys that are pressuring everybody to sell don't really understand the market. Like they don't understand the significance of like float size and like how much it would really take to influence the market. And I think they think that going from chat room to chat room, telling everybody to buy or telling everybody to sell these, they think it's going to influence, but it's not. It's not going to move these things at all. Again, the numbers are going to be the most important influence. And again, nobody really knows if these are going to be up, down, good, bad, positive or negative market reaction. Nobody knows. And so the best thing that you can do is actually get in a reactionary mindset more than a predicting one. And again, maybe we do drop. I'm not saying we don't drop, right? And again, don't pressure everybody to buy anything either. I think it's always better to just keep it neutral. We got 4 minutes left, guys. 4 minutes. All right, guys. Got about 1,000 people here. Again, hit the subscribe button. All right, guys, here we go. Y'all ready? Is your heart beating? Yeah, let's see what happens. 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. Amazon over the VWAP, over the 200 EMA. We got the Q bouncing back a little bit here. Apple still dipping down. Apple under 186s. Apple under 186s. And so again, we'll see if we get some good results here. Again, we got 3 minutes left, guys. 3 minutes left. We got about 1,000 people here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of some of these trolls by just putting it in sub-only mode. So if you could take the time, listen, subscribe. I would never pressure you, but if you don't, I'll hate you forever. Subscribe right now, guys. I appreciate it. Let's get ready for the data release in 2.5 minutes. Thank you guys for helping me hit 112,000 subs yesterday. Again, we're going to put this number up so you guys can see exactly what we can expect today. Unemployment is expected to show 3.6%. Non-farm payrolls is expected at 200,000. Both drop at 8:30 and are going to be streamed right here, guys. So again, stick around. We'll see if we get anything good. Hey, thank you for the likes. I appreciate the love. Hit the like button. Again, 2 minutes left. A little bit under 2 minutes. Again, make sure you hit the live button, guys. You want to make sure you're live on the stream. And the way you can make sure you're live on the stream is by clicking the live button. And so if you look at it, the live button looks like this. Let me show you guys. So the live button looks like this, guys. So you want to make sure your live button is red. If it's red, you're called up fully on the stream. If it's gray, you're delayed. So make sure it's red because the report's dropping in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. All right. Again, a minute and a half. Q's pushing up a little bit. Amazon's still bouncing into that VWAP 200 EMA level. All right. Again, Apple at 186. Amazon moving up to 180, 140, 50 here. We're going to watch the dollar index to see what that does here. But I'm going to move Amazon out the way, and I'm going to put up the SPY. So we got the S&P and the NASDAQ both up on the screen. All right, guys, less than a minute. We got 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Let me get all my sources ready here for this data release. All right. 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds. Again, 3.6% is what they're expecting for unemployment. 200,000 is what they're expecting for payrolls. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. I'm going to get this paused out the way so it doesn't distract me. All right, here's the release, guys. Here's the release. Be ready. And there we go. So unemployment showed up at 3.5%. 3.5% for unemployment. Non-farm payroll numbers came in lower than expected at 187,000. 3.5%. I told you guys. I got it exactly right again. Y'all will never hear the end of it. 3.5% for unemployment. Non-farm payrolls at 187K. 187 versus 200. And so lower than expected unemployment, higher than expected payroll numbers. Those are both going to signal economic growth. Those are positive things for the economy, maybe negative things for inflation, but positive things for the economy. And the SPY is ripping up. It's at 450s right now, 450s. The Q is bouncing up as well on lower than expected unemployment and higher than expected non-farm payroll numbers. Again, we got it exactly right. Exactly right for unemployment. You're welcome. Again, lower than expected, 3.5% for unemployment, lower than expected on both metrics here. And the SPY ripped up to 450. We'll see if it bounces back. But again, I would say this is probably good data, but the market can sometimes react in different ways. But again, non-farm payroll numbers came in at 187,000. Unemployment showed up at 3.5%. 3.5%. Private payrolls 172 versus 179. Again, 3.5% for the U.S. unemployment rate. Non-farm payroll numbers came in at 187K. And again, if you guys remember the number, I was very hesitant to even put out a prediction, but I said 3.5%, and that's what we showed up as. So, hey, when you're right, you're right. Again, the SPY is ripping up to 450 20s, 450 20s. Q is bouncing up to 375s. But again, consolidating here. The SPY is now over over the VWAP, over the 200 EMA. And again, let me know what you guys think. Again, SPY pulling back a little bit to the 200 EMA VWAP level. The NASDAQ still consolidating, but again, it's a pretty neutral reading. So lower than expected payroll numbers is going to signal a little bit less economic growth, but the low unemployment rate's pretty good. And I think that's something that obviously you want to pay attention to. There's the SPY going up to 350 30s or so, 350 30s. On both of these so far, we've had a positive reaction. So far, it doesn't mean we're going to continue in this positive reaction, but so far we've had a positive reaction here with these. Again, it doesn't mean anything yet. It really doesn't mean anything yet. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. And again, if you want some free stocks, if you open up an account on MooMoo and deposit at least $100, you get 5 free stocks. You open up a deposit over 1,000, you get 15 free stocks. I got like Palantir, a couple other ones. If you open up a deposit over 5K, you get previous stocks plus Google or Tesla. So 16 free stocks if you open up a deposit over 5K. Again, zero commission stock and option trades, great resources that I've been using to find this economic data. Like if you want to know how I'm finding this economic data, again, I could put this up on screen and show you like their calendar here. You know, it shows me the economic data. Again, I can go to economic data, North America, 3 stars. I can see payroll numbers. I can see unemployment, all that good stuff. And so again, very useful. I can follow different traders depending on how well they're doing. I can look at heat maps and strategies and all this cool stuff. And a zero commission open entire pre-market session. So the SPY is actually moving up a little bit, starting to pull back down now though. Again, we're going to put this up on screen. Great way to help support the channel. Check it out. Again, man, I guessed the unemployment exactly right again. Honestly, that's kind of crazy to be honest. Like, like out of the last few economic releases, like I think I missed the last one, but out of the last like 3 or 4, I've gotten a lot of them exactly right in terms of predicting what the numbers are. And to be honest, I would love to take credit for it and act like I've got some super big edge in terms of predicting these numbers, but I really am just getting very lucky. I'm just kind of throwing numbers out there and then hitting those numbers sometimes. So, hey, they say luck is better than skill. I guess that's right. Market's starting to pull back a little bit. And again, maybe the market's not going to like these payroll numbers. The payroll numbers were lower than expected, which is worse for recession fears, but better for inflation worries. And so will the market hold, guys? Again, really interesting because the prelim payroll numbers were much higher than expected. So the prelim payroll numbers were much higher than expected on Wednesday. So for the payroll numbers to come in low, again, it is interesting. Yeah, I'm from the future. That's right, you know. Yeah, I would love to say it's from skill, but it's just luck. Again, let's look at how everything else. So there's the SPY. I'm sure the Dixie has originally reacted negatively and now is starting to rebound. So the dollar index did drop from this report. Dollar index is currently at 102.40s, 102.40s. Again, we're kind of just sitting tight. I don't know why it's not following anymore. Let me fix that. There we go. Let me fix this one too. It should follow. There we go. All right, so far a bearish reaction. Yeah, let's look at the FOMC rate hike potential here. So here's the FOMC. Here's the CME group. There's the market dipping down some here. So the market is now dropping, guys. Market's dipping down. So right now we're showing about an 80% chance of a rate hike of about 25 basis points. So the current rate is 500 to 525, which was 25 basis points last time. This one, they're expecting a 25 basis point hike again at 78.5. So, again, negative reaction in markets for sure already. Again, we'll see if we continue to get negative reactions, but negative reactions so far here from the data. It's still pretty early, and this movement's not the craziest. Like, again, the market is pretty much flat on the day still, although we have had a red reaction. Got a little bounce back here. We'll see if it holds. Sorry, opening up my Quant Tower account. Might get ready to start trading some here. All right, so originally we got a little downward move on the SPY and the S&P, and now we're bouncing back up a little bit. Market's very volatile in this report. We did bounce back up a little bit. All right, so again, we bounced back up a slight amount here, slight amount. All right, now this typically looks like a bearish trend or pattern to me here, personally. So this looks like a bearish trend, but you never know. And yeah, there's a little drop in the S&P. All right, very volatile range here. Got a little bounce back up. So the market started to rebound back up a little bit here too. And again, if you want to check out Top Step and try to get funded in futures, we got funded on one account earlier this week. If you want to try out Top Step and try to get funded in futures, there's no PDT in futures. You can day trade it short. Top Step pause signups, but you can join their wait list. And again, it's the easiest way to day trade without taking on too much risk. Again, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill in futures. And again, no PDT in futures. You can day trade the NASDAQ, currencies, gold, silver, the S&P 500. And again, it's a great way to learn where you have limited risk. If you lose, you're down $50 basically. If you can pass it, you still get a 90% split. And they're the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions and fund thousands of traders a year. Here's the link if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine. There's the link. Check it out. Market's rebounding back up here, guys. So originally we were red. Now we are back green on the report. S&P still moving up some. All right, market's starting to look strong. Again, I don't know if we're going to continue this action, but it is starting to look stronger here for sure. Market's surging back up. Kind of hanging out, sitting back, waiting here. Big green pop back up on the SPY. SPY back up here. Q back up as well. Yeah, they might be done raising rates. I don't know. You never really know. These are all essentially just projections. But again, so far we're actually pretty flat. A little bit of a cup and handle forming here on the long side. Over the 200 EMA, over the VWAP here. A lot of volatility and just kind of choppiness, but again, we've pushed back up over. We're over the 200 EMA now. All right, market's consolidating down now, right around the VWAP, right around the 200 EMA. We're still watching the Q here, which did bounce up a little bit, but again, pretty neutral from the report. Still slightly green, I guess. Markets are trying to surge back up a little bit too. I don't think we have any other earnings coming out today. I think most of the earnings are out already. Yeah, we're back over the 200 EMA, back over the VWAP. That's typically a bullish sign, but again, we don't really know anything about the market or what it's going to do here. We're just kind of sitting back, waiting. Yeah, Etsy's up today. We're green on Etsy. All right, market's still bouncing a little bit at the 200 EMA. The SPYs, at least the Q's being a little bit less strong, but still trying to bounce. Yeah, I don't even have Discord up today, Pawn. My bad, bro. Here, let me pull it up. Yeah, so options are heavily weighted on the put side. Be careful going short, Pawn says. And it looks like he's right. The market ended up ripping up big, which is one of the reasons, guys, like I always pressure people to stop. Like again, I just imagine how much emotion comes from like needing to go to a random chat room and tell everybody to sell, telling everybody sell, 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 sell. You know, like calm down, man. Like nobody knows what's going to happen. And again, it just influences people on the negative side. Again, and again, to understand my bias, a year ago, right? A year ago when the market was down big, the same thing happened, man. People were coming in my room and they were saying, sell, guys, the market's going to crash. It's going to drop. Get out of positions, right? And when you zoom out and you look at what actually happened over the last year, the market's up like 40%. You know what I mean? So it's like they pressured people to sell. I'm sure at least some people got tempted to sell, and then the market ripped up 40%. And so in the end, the easiest way to put it is anybody that's really pressuring anybody to do anything doesn't know what they're talking about, because again, it just means they're really biased by their own positions. And for you guys in my room, I hope you guys understand and recognize that I don't know what way the market's going to go. I don't know if the market's going to go up, down, or sideways. All right. And nobody else does either. And you always have to take everything somebody says in here with a grain of salt and understand that, like, most of the time they're just biased by their own positions. And people really never like to admit they're wrong either. And so, again, if you're in my room, just understand, don't get too tempted by what anybody says in the chat, and always make your own assessment. It's always the best move, in my opinion. Yeah, we're watching stuff too. SPY still pushing up. The NASDAQ still trying to rip. Yeah, I mean, I think Home Depot was just up a little bit too much for my liking. The dollar index with the big bull response that we've had is going down some short term. Home Depot, when you zoom out, is just up a little bit too much for me personally, or I would buy Home Depot. I think Home Depot is strong. But like Home Depot, Walmart, they're all up a lot over the last year. They're just not really what I'm trying to buy, I guess. Why is Coinbase dropping? Coinbase is flat on the day. I don't know why it's going up or down. Nobody does. We can speculate, but nobody really knows, man. I remember September is typically a pretty bad month for investing here, guys. I do want to show you guys this. This is the average monthly S&P return since 1928. Since 1928, January gives you about 1.25%. February gives you about a loss of 0.2%. March gives you a gain about 0.5%. Let me fix that. April is probably one of the better months. It gives you an average gain of about 1.4%. May gives you about a loss of 1.15%. Or no, I mean 0.15%. June gives you average gains of about 0.7%. July gives you an average gains. Best month of the year is July typically. It gives you average gains of about 1.65%. August gives you average gains of about 1.65%. Or no, I'm sorry, 0.65% average gains in August. September is typically the worst month of the year by far, with an average losing portfolio or average losing value of about 1.2%. October's green of about 0.55%. November's green at about 0.8%. December's green at about 1.3%. And so, again, September is historically the worst month of the year. But August typically gives you a gain of about 0.6%. And so this is important to watch, important to learn. And let me know if you guys think we're going to hit that. We're going to end this poll. Full, why are you posting a bunch of random crap, man? Let me end this poll. All right, market's still pumping up. John, you're the greatest analyst. I don't know why anything's doing anything. Yeah, I mean, but it's better than just saying, hey, sell, guys, sell, and then the market does this. Right? Am I right? I think I am. But hey, cheers to you guys. Yeah, we're going to end this poll. 48% thought we were going to get a positive market reaction, and that's exactly what we got, was a positive market reaction. We're going to do another poll. We see a September slump this year. We see a September slump this year. Let me know. Again, do we see a September slump this year? Do we see a September slump this year? We're going to do a poll of about a week. Market is surging up here. Again, here's the vote. We got another poll that we got live on Twitter. Yeah, but the market's up a lot from this report here. Market's looking pretty decent. And we'll see if we fight back and go green. It's not true that it's always a red month. Nothing's 100% in trading ever. But yeah, look at the market surge here, man. Market's popping. Got a little dip here. Do we bounce on this little pullback dip, guys? Let me know. So the market ended up ripping up. So yeah, the market ended up ripping up on lower than expected payroll numbers and lower than expected unemployment. So both data releases came in lower than expected, and that's making the market shoot up so far, at least. Doesn't mean it's going to hold. We don't know, but so far the market's popped. Hey, what's up, Tiny? I give September an A plus rating. All right, market's pulling back a little bit. Again, we'll see if we bounce. We'll see if we hold. We'll see what happens here. Still got about 30 minutes here. We are going to be trading futures today, guys. So we are going to be trading futures today. Again, we got funded in one account earlier in the week. And we're trying to make a push towards getting funded in another one. I had an average in 106 in Coinbase and held it when it dropped to its lowest all the way back. I know some Dagels. I know some. I know a couple friends of mine have the last name Daigle. Free funding on MooMoo? No, MooMoo is not a funding account program. It's just a stock brokerage. It's regulated in the U.S. You know what's one of the weirdest things we get here, guys? One of the weirdest things you get, and again, and I'm not going to mention names, but it's like you can tell there's certain people that are obviously creating other accounts and then kind of talking to themselves in these other accounts. They're saying the same thing that, you know, again, it's just very strange to me. Like, why are y'all spending y'all's time doing that? Who cares, man? Who cares enough about that, man? Man, hey, do what y'all do, but just weird. All right, so we got a little pop up in the market. And again, I'm not going to mention names, but there's certain ways that I know, and I'm not going to say how, but there's certain ways that I know. All right, so we got a little pop up. Beautiful here. We're taking a little bit more. People are weird, dude. NKLA, yeah. So I think NKLA already dropped their earnings, right? So I think NKLA already dropped their earnings, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of looking at everything now. Coinbase failed brief asking court to dismiss the SEC case against the company. Says SEC has no authority to pursue suit against since none of the securities cited are defined as securities under federal law. Yeah, God is good, beer, or God is great, beer is good. People are crazy. Just to quote a country song I heard. Again, I mean, I'm not even the most religious guy. I'm just kind of quoting a country song here. And cheers to you guys. Yeah, Paul, I'm gonna send you something about our chat logs and show you a weird, I guess I'll call it an anomaly. All right, guys. Market's still bouncing up strong here. Hey, let's see if this upward trend continues. All right, guys. Market's starting to bounce up even more. SPY hit 450s right now. A lot of stuff's bouncing up with it. Again, we're green on Etsy, and a lot of our swing trades were green now. Roblox, we're up today. Target, we're up today. Exxon, we're up today. Honeywell, we're green today. Etsy, I think I said that one already. Disney, we're green today. ENPH, we're green today. Mostly green on everything on the day, at least. Gold is up a little bit as well. Market's still surging up some. Yeah, this tune's a little bit too hype for me. This is like an old playlist, bro. This playlist I've built over years. It's a little bit too hyped up for me, though. I prefer the calm music. Yeah, the dollar index is dipping down some, but that's usually what happens when the market pushes up. There's usually an inverse correlation with the Dixie in the market, and the dollar index in that regard is going down, which is not a bad thing. So again, SPY pressing over highs. NASDAQ consolidating a little bit more, but the SPY just tapped over highs as well. It's currently at 450.70, 450.80. Dollar index is still dropping. It's at 102s. We still got 25 minutes or so until the market opens, guys. 25 minutes. I get a little baby dip here. Again, I'm not really interested in buying this up. I think we're a little bit too high up right now, to be honest. What's your view on Tesla today? Tesla up to 261.30s here, 261.30s. Yeah, Tesla bounced back up on the rest of the market. Still green on the day at 262s. I was really thinking about buying more at 250s, and I made a little bit yesterday on it, but market's finally starting to rebound some. How many shares am I holding of Etsy? I might take a little piece of Etsy just because I'm green. Nah, it's not liquid enough in pre-market to really do that. I'll have to wait until at the opening bell in a couple minutes. Yeah, so well, there's a bunch of big earnings coming out. So again, today we had, so again, to put it into perspective, Monday
we get a gang of earnings coming out on Monday. We get Tyson's, BioNTech, Berkshire Hathaway drops their earnings in the morning. So Berk drops their numbers in the morning. And then in the evening on Monday, we get Palantir, Lucid, Chegg, Paramount, Beyond Meat, and a couple of other ones in the evening on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we get UPS, Eli Lilly, Datadog, and some other ones. And then Tuesday evening, we get AMC, we get Rivian, we get Upstart, Twilio, Marathon, Celsius, SOUN, and some more. And then Lyft as well, and Dutch Bros. And again, that's Tuesday evening. Wednesday next week, we get Roblox, Sony, Penn Gaming, and some other ones, Wendy's. And then Wednesday evening, we get Disney, Plug, Win, Magnite, Canopy Growth, Sonos, and others. And again, that's Wednesday evening. Thursday next week, we get Alibaba in the morning, CyberArk, Novo, Six Flags, Ralph Lauren, and others in the morning. And then in the evening on Thursday, we get IONQ, Zyme, Gevo, and a couple others. Not really any big ones on Thursday, to be honest, in the evening. And then Friday morning next week, we get Air Canada. NVIDIA, I believe, is much later this month. So NVIDIA is going to be the 23rd of August. But yeah, we got some stuff coming out that'll make it interesting. You guys were so good on telling everybody to sell. Where are you now? Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they're going to dish it out, they got to be ready to take it, you know? And again, I'm not even super bullish. Like, I'm pretty neutral. And I think the market is extended. I just don't believe in one thing, a common thing, like a universal thing I've seen running this channel for 5+ years now, is that the people who are the most pressuring are usually the most wrong. You know what I mean? And because I think it all correlates to insecurity of their own positions is what it is. Amazon rip it up. Yeah, SoundHound will be interesting. Amazon still holding the VWAP level. Amazon's been bouncing off of the VWAP and kind of consolidating in between it, kind of straddling the VWAP area all morning. SPY and Q were obviously up today. CGC consolidating too. Dollar goes down, market goes up. Yeah. Yeah, there's not always, but typically there's an inverse correlation with market activity and the dollar. And so typically if the market goes up, the dollar is going to go down and vice versa. But again, that's just typically, it's never for sure. Got a little pullback here. If we're going to continue in this trend, maybe we'll see. So E-mini mostly at an upward trend here. Again, the NASDAQ pulling back a little bit. I like the trend, and I think the trends like this typically hold, but not always. Apple's still falling down, though. Apple at 185.50s, 18 minutes. But yeah, Apple's still dipping down some. So we asked on Twitter, do we see a September slump this year? 75% of people say yes. 25% of people say no. I'll probably stream Palantir earnings, probably, most likely. So next week will be a busy week for earnings as well. Apple bounced today. I'm not sure. Apple had a weak earnings report that it's reacting negatively from, and it has been reacting negatively from at least. All right, so yeah, we're up about 1,000 on one of our accounts. This is just lo-fi music. Yeah, I got funded on Top Step. Is Tupperware still moving? Yeah, Tupperware. I mean, it's trying. Market's still bouncing, still in that upward trend. All right, so the NASDAQ got a little dip here. I'm looking over and scrutinizing AMD for earnings. Well, AMD earnings already dropped. No, I got a little mini dip. SPY's still testing highs. NASDAQ hasn't caught up to it yet, but it's trying. How about AMC? Yeah, AMC earnings, we're definitely going to stream those next week. Those should be fun to watch. AMC is expected next week to come in at, what does it drop? Tuesday, I think. AMC earnings drop next Tuesday in the evening. Yeah, so AMC expected 5-cent loss per share. John, are you going to teach your family to trade as well? Only if they want to know. I've taught Carol how to trade. My son's too young. My daughter has no interest in it. So my daughter just doesn't care enough about it to teach. You know what I mean? So my daughter's just not into it enough to teach her. I would teach her, you know. Is there any twos? I mean, paper trading is probably the best way to teach your kids. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes until the market opens, guys. 10 minutes. Let's see if the market gives us anything good, but 10 minutes here, team. NASDAQ's starting to pull back a little bit, but again, we're up pretty decent on the day, so it's not a surprise that the SPY is finally dipping down some here. Yeah, I played a couple different instruments. I played the drums, played guitar a little bit, played the trombone. All right, so Tupperware is still popping a little bit here. Here's the thing. I don't mind the NASDAQ trend right now. Athletics, yeah, I mean, baseball is my favorite sport by far. My daughter's great at softball. My daughter's probably the best softball player on her team, arguably, you know, depending on maybe the pitcher could be argued, or definitely not their current pitcher, but my daughter is very good at softball. I've been playing catch with her for years since she was little. My son's all right. He doesn't have as much interest in it as my daughter does, which is all right. You know, I'm not going to force him to. Yeah, we'll see if the market holds. The only sports I play now are teaching my kids how to play baseball or something, you know. All right, so we're just kind of consolidating in markets right now. Market opens up in about 9 minutes, 9 minutes, team. So we're still just kind of sitting back waiting for the opening bell. See if we get some surge of volatility from it. Consolidating here, guys. We got 8 minutes left. Markets are starting to pop back up. The SPY just ripped. The NASDAQ just ripped back up. For frequent traders, how do you track your buys and sells for tax reporting purposes when you trade so frequently? I mean, 1099s, bro. Your broker, if it's a legit broker, should send you a 1099 at the end of every year. So 1099s for sure is what I use. Again, 8 minutes, guys, 8 minutes. All right, look at Apple surge up here. Apple's popping. Day trading, I would just look at all the free content you can. If you're going to put up money, I would suggest using a funded account program like Top Step, which is, again, a funded program for futures. They give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can hit the targets while following their rules, they fund you between 50 to 150K with a 90% split. I think they pause signups for now while they get some stuff settled, but they're the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions every year, fund thousands a year. And it really is useful because it limits your risk. Like, your risk is small. It's $49 for the base one. The most expensive one's only like 100, I think, or 100 and something right now. And so your risk is very limited, but the reward is you get 90% if you can get funded. And so it's a great way to learn because you have limited risk, but if you're good enough to pass it, you still get a lot of the rewards putting the money up yourself. In the futures market, there's no PE rule. You can day trade short in futures without restriction. So I think in that regard, it's very useful. But again, I'm biased because they pay me money and they're a sponsor of mine. So I'm definitely biased in their favor. But yeah. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left, 5 minutes until the opening bell here. We'll see if we get a surge of volatility heading into it. It's very close to us now. All right, guys, we're sitting tight, waiting. I'm trying to just be patient, not push anything too heavy. Let's get our futures trading ready, actually. And get this out of the way and get ready to trade some futures. I haven't really traded the Dow that much in futures. You can put up futures market now. See if we can get something good. All right, we got the E-mini up. Apple bounces back up, still over the VWAP there. All right, opening bells in about 3 minutes. All right, guys, 2 minutes. Yeah, we might get some volatility leading into the opening bell. Again, look at Tesla dip right before the opening bell here. Wonder why Tesla's falling like that. Apple just dipped too. Weird. All right, so let me see if there's any catalyst for this, man. Market just fell pretty quick. You guys see anything? Any books? Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas. Aside from that, I mean, books aren't really the best source to learn trading, brother. All right, here's the opening bell, guys. 15 seconds. Tesla facing a lawsuit over exaggerated driving range. It cites a Reuters investigation which found that they had exaggerated vehicle range for years. Yeah, but this drop is recent, the last 2 minutes. All right, there's the opening bell. All right, so here's the open. Getting market dips right at the opening bell. Retracements back up on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ surging back up here. I'm going to buy this dip a little bit early, but I'm going to buy this dip, see if we get a little bit of a lag between the NASDAQ and the S&P. I might pay for it. It's a little bit early, but one contract's not the biggest move on this account, which we're already green on. All right, end of trade. There we go, green. Tesla basically rebounded all the way back up, so weird. All right, so we just made over 100 just now. Again, our intuition was correct. Tesla ripped, Apple ripped. Still in the trend though, so we're not going to take anything now until we kind of break this. Yeah, market is seeing a lot of strength today. Now we can finally take some profit on our Etsy trade that we got into yesterday. I took a little bit more off on Etsy, locked in 2/3 profit there. So Tyson has earnings next week, so we're going to lock in some profit there as well to keep the risk down. Locked in some profit on Tyson. ExxonMobil. How many shares am I holding of ExxonMobil here? Okay, gotcha. We could take a couple more off of Exxon as it breaks the highs. Weird, my orders aren't going through on top on this. No, whatever. Very big green action here, guys. And again, this is why I really discourage pressuring people to buy or sell anything. Most of the time, the people doing so are the least profitable traders. Markets are popping up nicely today. Bro. Is Toss really not letting me cut these trades, dude? That's weird. Okay. All right, Toss. Whatever. Again, one of the reasons I switched from MooMoo. Huge rips in market activity, guys. Is it everywhere or is it just... Okay, so it's just Exxon, which is weird. Dude, finally, man, it's sold, but all right, well, we covered what we wanted. We'll hold the rest, but man, odd. Microsoft, rip it up. Great day here for me. Some off of that one. Sorry, we're up so much in my long-term portfolio today, just to show you what we're looking like today. Here's what I'm green so far today in my long-term portfolio. We're about 500 today. Market is ripping up big, so I gotta kind of, whenever it's like that, I gotta kind of focus more on liquidating some of my green swing trades over day trading. Hope you guys understand. All right, TSN is up even more. We're gonna go ahead and liquidate some more here. Not much. We're gonna take another 10 shares off of these highs. That's nice. Yeah, the whole market's popping up, and we do have a bunch of earnings that drop next week, so I'll be ready. And again, if you want to day trade actively, check out TopStep. It's a funded futures program where they give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you between 50K to 150K in day trading. In the futures market, the patterns in futures in like the S&P or the NASDAQ are very similar to the patterns in Apple or Amazon, but there's no PDT restrictions. So you can day trade the NASDAQ, you can day trade the S&P, and the patterns are similar to blue chips, but there's no PDT restriction, and TopStep is the most legit funded program in the world. They've been around for over 10 years. They pay out millions and fund thousands of traders every year. If you want to check them out, you can get a base package for $49 on sale for a limited time. You can check out the link right there. Again, I've kind of been focusing more on my swing trades today, and it looks like for good reason, because man, Apple surging back up at 186 is for Apple. So Apple is really popping. Look at it on the top right. Again, we're too extended for me to really want to buy this dip. Markets are just popping, man. Wow. Tesla ripping up, leading the market again. I don't like this. It's too up. I gotta wait. Again, S&P just broke highs again. Again, I'm not saying it's going to continue to break these highs. I really have no idea, but it just broke highs again. Apple up to 187s already. Tesla dipping down to 264s. I mean, I'm just not going to buy it right here. It's too extended on the upside. I think that's very reasonable, you know. I think like risk management has to be there where it's like if something's up so much in day trading, it's probably not the time to buy. And maybe it keeps going up, but like I like buying pullbacks like this because I look for kind of a stair step pattern. I buy the dip, ride the bounce, buy the dip, ride the bounce, and then attack the trend that you get. Kind of like that, if that makes sense, right? Like that's my typical system and strategy. But when the market, you know, is pushing like this, it's just again, it could keep going up. That's possible. Like it could keep going up. It could also just go fast, and I don't want to get stuck in that. I'm John Madden over here, by the way. Again, Apple very strong right now, very strong. Again, I don't think we really have any other big economic data coming out today. I don't think we do, actually. Gold bouncing back up today, too. Yeah, I'm on Quant Tower right now through Top Step. So I'm using Quant Tower through Top Step. S&P still consolidating, but still getting ready to break highs. Look, just broke highs again for the S&P 500. Wow, man. Again, my target trade's up big. We broke $500 in profit on my swings today. Hey, yeah, y'all be safe. It is Friday, guys. There's a big dip. We'll buy this now. All right, we bought the dip. It's the first large dip we've had in price action essentially today. Hopefully it's not too dippy. I'm going to take 2 contracts here. See if we can go back up a little bit now after we got this pullback, see if everything else starts to follow it. We already got a $100 cushion on the day. That's the first thing. All right, there we go. Nice little pop. I don't think I want to add more to this. I think I'm just going to sit and see if we rebound on these 2 contracts. And if not, I mean, we'll get out pretty flat on the day, I think. Recalibrate afterwards. All right, getting some consolidation in markets. Tesla is turning a little bit here. NASDAQ with a healthy pullback just now. Oh, wow, we're green. Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't like this. I'll give it time to retrace, but we'll get out down about $100 on this one. And this is not our, we've already made money on our other ones. We got a couple of these accounts that we're trading on Top Step. And so if we take a little loss here, it's okay. I want to give it time. I could also add one more contract to it. And I think sometimes you got to take risks in these accounts. So I guess I will. And if not, we'll just cut it and get out for a couple $100, which is, again, pretty small relative to what we're up on the day already. Big retracement back up on the NASDAQ too. Let's see if the S&P can give us the same thing. I'm not usually one to add to losing positions, but I think in these funded account programs, you kind of got to sometimes. Another big retracement candle. We're pretty much flat on this trade so far. That's not good. We're probably gonna have to cut this. Probably holding on to this one too long, I think. But again, we got enough of. Again, we got funded in one already this week. You got to take risks to get funded in other ones. Retracement candle. That looks better. Let's see what Tesla does. Tesla's a large cap stock, might influence. We're also watching Apple. Apple's going to have a lot of influence over this too, to be honest. So we get our hands over the cover button, but we're going to let this work back up there if it can. All right, we're back closer to flat on this now. All right, now we're green. I'm going to go ahead and limit one of those trades and get out right at the top. So we got out of that one right at the top just to limit the risk here so it doesn't turn into the end of the world if it goes against us. And I think that's probably a smart move. If it goes up more, we can give it more time to compensate for it. If it falls, our risk is much less. There we go. Beautiful. All right, we just took half. Took another half. And we're gonna go ahead and take the rest off at the top up there. So yeah, we're now up about 250 on the day on this one. You can kind of see how I manage my risk a little bit. Like, I don't mind getting out of a piece of the position, break even if I'm nervous about the trade, which I was in that situation. Yeah, guys, so we are effectively out of target green. Or no, we're in target right now, but we are now green on the position today. You love to see it. Gonna go take a little piece off of it now, and then we can always add back if we want. Helps our position for sure here. Market is popping back up some. I don't know, I think I bought PayPal up yesterday. I'm still holding a piece of it. Might add a little bit more to this down here for PayPal. Apple's still surging back up, back over VWAP, back over the 200 EMA. That's what's ultimately what's dragging the market up right here with us too. Yeah, markets are starting to rebound back up. Again, here's my swing trades on the day so far. So these are what we're up in our swing trades today so far right now. We're up about 430 or 530. So like here's our P&L. These are the rest of our swing trades. So market looks strong here, guys. Look, market looks like it's about to break highs. Just the day I needed. Again, patience is the real thing. Like when I enter a lot of these, I'm red for the first few days because of like emotional movement. But like typically, I can sit and be patient, and they'll work. They'll work for me. How's SQ doing? SQ's down a lot since earnings. I'm gonna take one contract here on this pullback, maybe add up to 2, but not take more than 2. You know, we got a cushion on the day, so we could take a larger risk, but all right, we didn't even have a chance to add up to 2 yet, so we're still green. If we make green money, we'll take one contract and just profit from it. All right, this might give me my time to add a little bit. Watching Tesla dip. All right, so that's 2 contracts. We're not going to take too much more than this. We already got a cushion on the day, and we're already up, you know, in other accounts. Retracement. All right, we just took half off, just protected the trade, locked in profit there. Nice little move, but this just retraced. But we can be patient since we already took profit once. And then we can get out break even since it's turning on us. We can either do that or we can add to it, but that's a big turnaround short term, so less likely to add to that here. I'm just going to cut that. Ate a little bit into our profit on the day, but that was a big red candle, to be honest. So I'm probably going to just cut this for now. All right, Target still ripping up. We're taking more profit in Target. Just locked in more profit on our TGT trade. I'm trading the regular E-mini. Now we're finally starting to turn back down after a pretty big bull day. Now we'll see if we continue this trend. It is Friday though, guys. We're already up a lot in our swings and up a little bit in these too. But it's a big drop. My hands are off for now. Hey, later, DS. Thanks for the help this week, man. Yeah, it all has to do with trends in terms of like gap fills and stuff like that. It's mostly trends. Apple's actually pretty flat today, man. It's actually pretty choppy. Diaz versus Jake Paul. My heart says Diaz. My head says Jake Paul. You know, I hope Diaz knocks him out with a 4-punch combo. But Paul's got more power, unfortunately. I'm going to buy this dip to the support level. And if this trade doesn't work out, I'll probably stop for the day. We're right around this major support level. So look for a little retracement. If we don't, we'll just cut it and enjoy the weekend. Yeah, what we're really looking for is a retracement and then a bounce back up. But again, if it doesn't give it to us, that's fine. There's a retracement. All right. Yeah, we're gonna cut that. We're slightly down on the day now, but we're down like $100 or so. So we're pretty much flat there. We took our swings, but now the market's starting to break down. I think there's probably a good little trend to attack, but it's Friday, guys. We ain't got no job and we ain't got ish to do. We're gonna go ahead and close it down and hang out and not worry about the market too much. Beautiful day for my trading altogether, despite this. Can you talk more about how you got funded? Yeah, I mean, and again, to put it into perspective, guys, we're trying to get funded in a couple accounts today. Here's the first one. You know what I mean? This is the first one that we're up today. So we are up 1,400 in the first one with a 6.3 win to loss ratio. So I mean, part of the market is patiently waiting. And so that's what we're going to do today. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. It's a funded program for futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the targets while following their rules, they fund you. I got funded earlier this week. Once you're funded, you get a 90% split. You just got to pass their testing. The base one's $50K. It's $49 right now, which is really cheap. And I don't think that sale's going to last long, but for that $50, basically, they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can hit the target, which is $3K in profit on that $50K demo without losing over $2K, they fund you $50K as long as you can follow their rules with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first $10K. And there's free funding coaches just taking the challenge, build your skill, and it really teaches you to trade futures. And there's no PDT in futures. You can day trade short without PDT rule, and you can day trade the NASDAQ. What you see me day trading right here is the S&P 500 E-mini. And so again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Pretty good day for me overall. So we'll see what the market does for the rest of the day. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys later. Again, check out MooMoo. If you have it, you get up to 16 free stocks if you open up an account and deposit. This platform right here is MooMoo. I switched over from TOS. Great platform, zero commission stock and options trades. And again, if you deposit, you get up to 16 free stocks depending on by how much. You can learn more right here. See you guys later.